What's going on, guys? This is Captain Gonzo here with that Fly Sim channel, and today, as you can see, we are doing something a little new, a little different. We're looking at the COWS DA42, of course. This case, the DA42 NG-6. This is a very anticipated release that came out recently, and here at the Fly Sim channel, once we saw that it was available, we just couldn't wait. We needed to get it. And here we are, and this is going to be the first part of a tutorial series that we're going to be dedicating to this aircraft. Captain Flacco already showed us a quick brief overlook at the aircraft and highlighted some key features of it. So what we're going to be doing here is covering a startup procedure today with this DA42, and eventually we're going to evolve this whole series to include takeoff, climb out, cruise, approach, descent, all the fun stuff, landing, and shutdown. So for now, let's just hang on tight. We'll switch over to the cockpit momentarily and we'll begin our sequence for the startup here. Alright guys, so here we are in the cockpit of the DA42 NG-6, and we've already gone ahead and completed a virtual walk around of the aircraft. Everything looks good, everything looks airworthy. Looks like we're ready to go, and as you can see, I've already gone ahead and closed our passenger's door over there. And we're going to leave our canopy open here until we get the engine started, and then we'll close it down to help with the sound. Now check this out, guys. This is an airplane that was actually developed and is still being developed and modded and updated by real-world DA42 pilots. And what I loved about this aircraft is that I went into my community folder and I looked up the documentation, expecting a flight manual, and it turns out that COWS actually just links you straight to Diamond Aircraft's website. Now that's impressive, because they're betting that the procedures and all the numbers and everything you're going to see on the real-world aircraft checklist will be able to be reciprocated or simulated in the simulator. So that was pretty impressive, and kudos to COWS. That's pretty awesome, just going straight to the manufacturer's website and telling you, here, find the aircraft you're going to fly, here's the checklist, here's the manual, and just plug and play. So that's an awesome job. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with that checklist. So we're looking at the check before engine start checklist. So the first thing is pre-flight check has been completed. Baggage and tow bar, we've verified that it's clear, have nothing stuck on there. Auxiliary pumps, they'll be located here on the armrest. Make sure they are in the off position, and they are, as indicated by the down position. Fuel selectors are on right here, and it wants us to verify that the safety guards are closed. Here are your safety guards right here. So they are closed right now, preventing us from traveling aft with the fuel control valves or the handles. Next, we'll look at the power levers. They want to make sure that they are on idle, so let's go ahead and verify that. They are on idle. Parking brake is set, and the parking brake is found right here, guys. This handle, I like that too. Never been inside a real Diamond, but this is pretty awesome. I like how ergonomic and just right there it is. Alright, alternate air. It wants us to verify that it is closed. If you flick it on, you'll see that it tells you alternate air is on. So let's keep it closed. Fuel pumps. They are currently off, as seen right here by these two switches. Manual gear extension handle is right here, and it wants us to verify that it's pushed in, which indicates that it is off right now, or just pushed in. Gear selector is indicating that it is down, and that's what exactly we need, because we don't want to be with gears up on the ground. That could be a very bad day, and some mechanics will not like you. Avionics master is off. Electric master, check that is off. Engine masters, they're both off, right and left hand. Pitot heat, off. Alternate static can be found right here underneath the dash here, just towards the left knee, and it's indicated by the sticker here. If the handle is perpendicular to the right, then we are closed. Conversely, if it was facing us, then we know that it's open. But right now, for the checklist, it wants to verify that it is closed. Alternators, let's go ahead and click the left hand and the right hand on. Okay, voter switches. It wants to make sure that they are on auto. Now, the specific function of voter, I'll be honest with you guys, I have no idea. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to keep those on auto per the checklist. All light switches off. Then it wants us to verify that the emergency switch, which is found right here, is off and guarded. And as you can see here, it's got some type of safety wire, or maybe just a bit of just nylon or something just to keep it guarded down. ELT, make sure that it is down in the armed position. Circuit breakers. Let's look at our circuit breakers, and nothing is popped out. Oh, overshot there. Everything looks good, guys. Everything is checked in. The flap selector, it wants to make sure that it is all the way up. Now, let's go ahead and get ready. Let's go ahead and get our electric master switch, which is right here. You can see our PFD and our MFD are coming on. This is, of course, the G1000, very common in a lot of GA aircraft. Very pilot friendly, helps with situational awareness. Rudder pedals, make sure that they are adjusted. They're free, I like them. Flight controls checked. Let's go ahead and get a full left stick deflection. Our left aileron should be up. Right down, right stick, right aileron up, left down. And we might not be able to see it here, but let's check out our elevator. Yep, see our elevator down. There we go. You can see in the shadow there, our rudder is moving, so we've got good control. Flight controls have been checked. Trims checked. Let's go ahead and just check our takeoff trim here with the elevator pitch trim. Sorry about that. I'm using Trek IR and it likes to glitch out. Rudder trim, we're going to leave it neutral for now. In my experience, I have not had to use trims too much here for takeoff. It's a pretty smooth takeoff run without having to get any right or left aileron, or excuse me, trim for the rudder. Gear warning, lights, and fire detector. Let's go ahead and test that, guys, and we can find that button right here just below the PFD next to the avionics master. So we're going to go ahead and hold that, and we can see that the test is working.
Gear.
Okay, looks like the test is good. De-ice annunciator test. Let's go ahead and do that right here. Here's our de-ice panel. And we're going to hold the de-ice panel annunciator test down. And it wants us to check the low level, I believe. Is that what it says there? Nope, just wants to have it on. Let's go ahead and see if the MFD shows us anything. I don't see anything about the DI system, so guys, I don't know if this is modeled yet or not. I'm not too familiar with this, to be honest. So we're just going to pretend everything is good. And besides, we're here in Indiana, at the Indiana Executive Airport, just north of Indiana International Airport. And as you can see, it's a beautiful day, no icing conditions. Temperature was about, I don't know, 20-something degrees Celsius, so we're pretty good. Okay. So we're going to continue on with this checklist here. Now it wants us to check the windshield de-icing, pumps 1 and 2, which I'm assuming are right here. We're going to press and hold that button. I don't see anything. So again, guys, not sure if this is modeled or not. Not sure what it does in the real aircraft, but just for the sake of sticking to the checklist, we'll control it and check it. Next on the checklist, flaps full travel. We're going to go down all the way to the landing setting. We're going to verify that they are coming down. Indeed, the flaps are down, and it wants us to check that they come back up. They're traveling. There they go. Cool. Now check this out, guys. I really like this part of the checklist. I had no idea that this aircraft had this option. But what we're going to do is check what's known as the variable elevator stop. Now, this looks like it controls how much aft stick pressure you can apply, whether power is full on or off. So check this out. The checklist wants us to go ahead and hold that stick aft and hold it. It wants us to go ahead and set our power to max. Now look, you're going to listen and look at that stick. You're going to see it just slightly increase, or excuse me, decrease the amount of aft travel that I have. So check it out. Power coming to full. And I don't know if you can see the stick moving there just shortly. So our the variable elevator stop actually decreased. Now check this out. It wants us to throw the powers to idle. And look at how the limit goes back to full aft. Now that is cool, guys. I've never seen that in any of the GA aircraft that I've flown, so I really like that feature from Diamond. And again, kudos to COWS for modeling such a very intricate and very minute detail, but to me, it knocks my socks off, to be honest. I love this stuff. But anyways, enough of that. So now, next item on the checklist, passengers have been instructed. At this point, you obviously cover any type of briefing, what you're doing today, what you expect from them, and so on. Seatbelts fastened. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll pretend they are. Rear door is closed and latch, and we can confirm that. We latched it. Front canopy. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and close it. Looks like we're closed. Nice latch. Let's open the little porthole windows here to get some airflow. G1000 powered and acknowledged. Yep, looks powered on to me. MFD Engine indicating system, we've got it right here. We've got our crucial, our load percentage, RPM, fuel flow, oil temperature, oil pressure, coolant temperature, fuel temperature, and the fuel quantity indicator showing about 12-13 gallons on each side. This aircraft runs very smoothly and burns very little fuel. I love that. So we've checked the fuel quantity, checked reset if needed. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but the way you do that is you go on the MFD here of the G1000, press engine, go to system, and then you would reset the fuel here if you just refueled the aircraft or something like that. You can also check the gallons remaining, and I'm not too familiar with this here, but I guess you can add, subtract gallons to kind of make it more accurate to what you've loaded. But for now, we'll keep it like this. And guys, bear with me. I'm not familiar with the DA42 or Diamond in general. Just flying this a little bit recently, getting familiar with it. So as always, do not be afraid to drop a comment and be like, hey Gonzo, you suck, you missed this, whatever. We'll get better. Fuel temperature looks pretty good, looks in the green. Total time in service noted. Yeah, I've only been flying this plane maybe an hour total, so I'm not too concerned with that. The de-ice pressure low caution is checked on, and I can see it right there. De-ice annunciator test is off, so we're going to go ahead and turn that off. There we go. That light went away on the CAS. Start key is inserted, as you can see here. Power levers are idle. Let's go ahead and confirm that again. And now it's time to get our strobe on, right? We want to let people know, hey, we're about to fire up. And this is a good indicator to any ramp workers, passengers, etc. to know, hey, stay clear, don't get your hands or head chopped off by these propellers. Okay, so now we're ready for the engine start procedure. Now the checklist has it going through a normal sequence, and it begins by starting the left hand. All right, so we've confirmed the left hand is clear. We're gonna say an audible clear prop, let people know. We're gonna go ahead and turn our left engine master on. And here we go, guys. We're gonna make sure that the annunciators and engine instruments are checked. Again, no abnormalities, nothing crazy. Obviously he's letting us know low oil pressure, low volts, but once the engine started, that should be clearing up. So with that being done, we don't see a glow indication as indicated in the checklist. Looks like we're good. Start key to the start position. So we're gonna obviously rotate this to the left. And here we go, guys. There's the left engine. Let's check that oil pressure for the left engine. On the left is showing in the green, and it wants us to make sure that it is outside the red within 3 seconds. So I'd say that's a good engine start. There we go. Voltage and electric load, check indication. And let's see where we can find that. Well, we've got the left voltage and the left oil pressure lights going away, so I'd say that's a good load. Engine's showing good. RPM is stable to 700. Everything looks good for the left engine. And now we do the exact same thing for the right hand engine. So right hand engine master to on. We see the right glow on, and it went away. Right oil pressure is low. Make sure we're still clear. Let's fire up that right engine. There we go. Right engine oil pressure outside of the red within those 3 seconds. They're stabilizing both in the green. Coolant temperature slowly rising. Obviously the left engine's been on for a little longer, so it's going to start warming up a little faster. Fuel temperature still looking good. RPM is stable at 700, and our load percentage is good. Okay, and now after starting the engines, the checklist has us verify the oil pressure, which we verified are in the green. RPM, they want us to be at 710 plus or minus 30. So 710 plus 10 or minus 30, that checks out. Looks like we're good. Fuel pumps. Let's go ahead and get the fuel pumps to on. Or actually, excuse me, no, they want them to be off. Okay. Fuel selectors to crossfeed. Let's go ahead and reduce those to crossfeed. Pitot heat. Let's go ahead and get the pitot heat, which is right here, guys. Okay. Avionics master's coming on. Right here. And the weather radar, if installed, verified the standby. We're going to check the cautions, no alerts, nothing crazy. Stall heater fail. Now this is going to go away once we start adding some more power and rolling down the runway, guys. So no biggie right now. I'm not too concerned with it. And then for the next part of the checklist, it wants us to go through the FMS setup. So at this point, it's assuming that you've gone through and filed your flight plan, set your route up. But in this case, we're just doing some VFR flying today, so I'm not too concerned with that. So we'll go ahead and say that it is good. All right, now it wants us to go through an autopilot check. I've already verified the autopilot test. It's good. It's completed. The floodlight checked on as required.
System test. Okay.
There's TOS letting us know that it passed the bit, the built-in test. It's all good. Didn't hear any faults. Precision lights, we'll go ahead and get those on. Fuel selectors back to on. So we're gonna go ahead and push those forward once again. Altimeter set. So right now, just a little shortcut, guys. This is universal for flight sim. All you have to do is press the B key, and there we go. Our altimeter is set on the PFD, as well as our backup altimeter there. Standby horizon checked. Let's go ahead and pull that back and uncage it. Make sure that it aligns pretty well. Transponder. That's going to be found right here on the PFD. You see the transponder button. You're going to press that, and right here you have the option of inputting your custom code. But right now, because we're going to be VFRing, 1200 is the code you want. So we're going to set that to standby right now. Leave it as is. Engine temperatures. Let's check that everything's still looking good. Again, I don't see any abnormalities, nothing crazy. Let's go through this. And there we go. Looks like everything is slowly climbing to nominal. Everything's in the green. I like it. And last thing on the after start checklist is to go ahead and release the brakes, which will be covered here shortly in the taxi and takeoff. So stay tuned for that, guys.